All right, everyone, welcome back to Growth Follows Change. This is going to be the first episode of this podcast specifically, just because I've really found in a heavy and like any kind of time you want anything in your life to go a different way, you just have to make a small change. Doesn't matter, right? You can just do anything to get to somewhere else that you want to be. So today we have my boy Caden. I actually just saw him on social media one day. I think I watched one of his shoulder videos. You guys know I have a fucked up shoulder. I don't think he knows this, but I found his Instagram. It was just in a Reels, and it was talking about like if you have shoulder pain, this is what you need to do for like like dumbbell shoulder press and stuff. And I was like, fuck it, let me just watch this. I never watched those videos, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch this one. And I was like, damn, this guy's actually giving me some good advice. Started taking it, and then the gut health video, I was like, this is important. People need to follow this. Gut health is stupid. People do not actually think about that. We'll probably talk about that a little bit today. People don't take that as serious as they should.
It is one of the pinnacles of results for sure.
Hell yeah. So I'm going to just let Caden introduce himself, and then we'll go into our first topic and then kind of just trickle down from there.
That sounds good. Well, like you said, my name's Caden Thompson, online fitness, lifestyle, bodybuilding coach. I've been in the space for 5, coming up on 6 years now. I've been coaching for around 4. So, I do bodybuilding, competitive bodybuilding, and that's kind of like my entire life at this point, just kind of what this podcast is about, growth follows change, and that's all we're here to do is grow. So.
All right. And the first reason, like one of the biggest reasons why I asked Caden to be the first like kind of guest on this podcast being rebranded this was very specifically, one, I saw him on social media, right? Met him in Texas at my show. And then also just like seeing him throughout social media, kind of see that a lot of people follow one specific person, right? And like, well, that's okay because like obviously if somebody got somewhere, they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. In my head though, I feel personally that like there's so many different things and so many people know so many different ways. Yeah. So like don't just follow one person's thing. Everybody knows something different. And that kind of brings us into the first topic, which is why waiting for change doesn't work, right? And so the question that Kate and I are just going to kind of talk about and we're going to go from there is just like why you shouldn't wait to make a change. Whether or not you want something in life, everybody, and it's coming up, right? New Year's is coming up,
yeah.
Bro, especially.
There's going to be a lot of those.
Oh my gosh. So what are your opinions on that? What's your opinions on New Year, New Me? You know it's coming up. The first like week and a half of January, gym is busy, and then everybody's not wanting to wait now because of holidays. Yeah. It's like everybody's wanting to wait, right? Holidays. You know what? I'll just make the holidays go by. What's your opinion on that?
So number one, I think it's one of those things where it always correlates. The person who is the New Year, New Me, New Year's resolution type person is always the person who is continuously reinforcing bad habits that they have, right? They're in this cycle. How many times before have you said, New Year, New Me? How many times have you written your New Year's resolutions down? You are telling yourself that it is okay to, again, what this is all about, wait to make a change. And it's all through, like you said, the holidays are coming up. There's, family events, and there's food here and food there. We just had Halloween. Man, if you write down all of the days throughout the year where we could use that as an excuse, there are tons of them. So what people don't understand is that it's the people who succeed are not the ones who did it when the time was right. They're the ones who realized that I have to figure out a way to do this around these times, which there is a way. There is a way to go, Thanksgiving is the only time that I'll really, let slide go and buck wild on food.
I can't lie. I went 2 Thanksgivings without eating Thanksgiving food. Oh, and like this year, I already told my coach, I told him, I was like, bro, just fuck off. I said, don't even talk to me. I said, don't talk to me on Thursday. I said, I want you to know my mom's coming down. So I'm having my mama's cooking. I'm going to my girls. I was like, I want you to know I'm fucking up food. First Thanksgiving off of like dieting.
But you deserve it. You deserve it.
But that's what people don't understand though too, is that like you can also take the time. Like you can change over time and not realize, oh my God, you know what? I've been eating healthy. I've eaten good for 3 months. Thanksgiving's come up. I'm going to enjoy myself a little bit, and then I'm going to just go right back on track. That's where people mess up, is they go, I ate Thanksgiving. Progress is over. I just got to keep binging.
I might as well eat again at Christmas and then, at New Year's. And there's no reason to continuously take steps backwards like that.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do, like you said, is just jump back on plan.
Also, yeah, I made this video the other day about. So I follow this guy, Higher Up Wellness. I don't know if you know who that is.
Higher Up Wellness.
Dude,
I
fuck
love
with
Higher
his
Up Wellness.
I fuck with his content so heavy. Just another guy. I don't even get on TikTok like that. Saw him on TikTok randomly and was like,
Same.
okay, fuck it. I'm gonna just watch it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how like much we as people overcomplicate things.
Oh yeah.
Like the video that I made was kind of inspired by him, and it was like, okay, dude, we got 6 days left into the New Year's, and we've got six
scary.
holidays of like, okay, you know what? Maybe I might have a drink or have
Yeah.
something. So you're telling me that 6 days out of the year is gonna make you just quit the rest of the year? And that's what's so crazy that like I think my thing now is like I try to show people that you can still have the everyday, the fun, the normal, or the every now and then
Yeah.
the fun, the normal. But like it's just your simple things that need to change. Just be a little more active. Like just 10K steps goes a long way. People don't realize that.
Huge key to staying in good shape.
Insane.
You can burn a good amount of calories in 10K steps.
Yeah, insane. And then like people are just like, well, I can't do cardio. I don't want to do cardio, bro. Just up your step count. Just walk. Like,
Yeah.
you don't understand. Like, just walk. Everybody sees that. My little issue. Everybody sees that bodybuilding blew up
Yeah.
so heavy that's like what people think mainstream dieting is.
Dude, I'm so glad you brought that up, bro. I mean, I have this problem with my girlfriend a lot of the times. Like, you know, when I am pushing her to do this and that, you know, and I heard this from clients when I sat down with them for consultations when I was doing in-person training. I hear it on the phone when I get on consultations. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I've made a couple videos on this myself. I don't want to be a bodybuilder, so I don't need to do X. That is the worst mindset that you could have.
Bro.
You're looking at people who, you know, let's take PEDs out of the question, obviously, but
Yeah.
the lifestyles that these people are leading overall, you're looking at the healthiest group, and I'm going to group in, you know, fitness as a whole, not just bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But it could be some power lifters. I'm not going to throw in that group. sorry to say that, but some of y'all I'm not going to throw in that group. But, you know, CrossFitters, no matter what it is, those lives, you're looking at the healthiest people. Yes, like bodybuilders are doing it to the extreme, but the only difference that should be between me and somebody who wants to be healthy, have, you know, a little bit of lean body mass and, you know, whatever the case may be, the only difference should really be is I'm going to use PEDs and get to an unhealthy body fat percentage and step on a stage for one day. That is the only difference. The 10K steps a day, the cardio year round, the training hard, the eating right, all of that is not so I can be some hard ass who's a bodybuilder. It's because that is the way we are supposed to live. You know what I mean? We're biologically, you know, let's take it back hundreds of years. We're supposed to be active. We're supposed to be able. We're supposed to be eating healthy, whole foods. Like,
Exactly.
we're so far gone, people don't understand like that while science has advanced, we are still primal beings at nature. So yeah, there's
No, for sure. One thing I said was, so obviously I just went on that diet, right? 65 weeks where I was training and I was eating healthy.
which is
like,
crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. I haven't even talked to people about it because I haven't comprehended it fully myself because I kind of like, I just let time just go. Like I was like, every day I was ready to go to bed because I was ready for the next day. And where I kind of regret that because where I started to see so it was weird. The first time I started to see my body change every single day was with my first coach. So I used to be coached by Jay Lane.
I was going to say, was that Jay?
Fantastic coach. Yeah, so Jay, fantastic coach. I don't regret anything. It just got extremely expensive, which is, I understand that. I understand you have an influencer status, like you are bigger on social media, but also like you know what you're doing. You're a pro. You have things behind you. You have clients that have gone to shows and won overalls.
Yeah.
And it just got really expensive. So I just couldn't afford it anymore. But I got to the point with him where I was seeing my body change every single day.
That's crazy.
Wild. And then my show got canceled. And that's when like most people would give up. That's when most people think that like, oh shit, show got canceled, I'm gonna just rebound. And like I definitely did enjoy food for a week. And then I went back to eating healthy. But in that time of me like eating just whatever I wanted throughout the week, I felt like shit.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize this. Like, you really, really feel so much better off of like whole food and like food that you're supposed to be eating. Like, yeah, going out to eat and having having like a cheat meal is okay, but like I just feel so good when I'm on beef, rice, chicken, rice. And it's crazy, like I've also noticed like sometimes my workouts are a little or my pumps are a little better, but I just feel so much more like aware of everything when I'm eating on plan. When I'm just eating, people don't realize
just
this, like
how you should be eating regardless.
Exactly. And you're also eating like this food all the time anyway. You just add all this extra shit that you don't need. And that's
exactly.
Like, it's like, bro, eating is so simple. And I think that's what everybody overcomplicates the most. Is all you do, have a healthy fat, carbs, protein, and you're good to go. And like food's not bad.
No. A lot of the like excess stuff that we have to do or that we have to have clients do, it's because you've brought yourself to a point of being unhealthy or being overweight, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And this is why I get on parents so much. Parents, if you have an obese child, that's, in my opinion, that's child abuse. You know what you're doing.
Time out. Yes. Okay. I work for a child abuse agency. Outside of social media,
Is that
outside
what
of
you
me
do?
money.
Okay.
Yeah. So outside of me doing like coaching and like just trying to like push myself out there, I'm a director of communication and development for Prevent Child Abuse Illinois. So for the entire state of
That's
Illinois.
awesome. I love that.
Thank you. So I personally agree with this statement that like if you're a parent and your child is abused, that is a form, or if your child is obese, that is a form of child abuse.
You're setting
100%.
that child up for literal death. It is that serious.
Bro, yeah. Also, you're setting that child up for so many like mental issues going on in their life. Bro, I was overweight for a very long time. Bullied every single year of my life. Do you know what that to somebody? Insane. And I 100% agree with that statement. 100%.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have full control, and it's like, if you were to instill in them these mindsets, number one, they're not going to be later down the line trying to, just like we can start eating whole foods and start moving more and rewire our brains to love those things. When you set your child up like that, you're rewiring their brain to love the bad things. So later down in life, they're going to have this huge struggle trying to rewire their brain back to what it should have been in the first place. So if we just start there, you're going to set your kid up for success. And like you said, like the bullying, they're not going to have to deal with. There's going to be way more kids who, feel like they can play sports and be parts of teams. And obviously, if that's not what they want to do, that's fine. But a lot of kids aren't. I quit soccer, something I loved heavily, when I was a freshman because I got too fat. I couldn't run. I just started to hate the sport because I couldn't perform. And again, it's just one of those things where parents, you have so much control. Do it for yourself, but definitely do it for your kids. Like, I hate to see it. I hate to see it. And it's going to be one of those things where my kids are going to have to learn how to understand, like, we've been so brainwashed to thinking what's normal is okay. And the normal in this society here, you go to other countries, bro, and it's not like this.
Bro,
it's not like this. Foods we eat daily are banned, illegal in other countries. Make that make sense.
I went to Germany. So I went to grad school, and we had an immersion trip where we spent a week in Germany and we got to learn there and stuff like that. First of all, went to Germany. So this was like, I think I was starting to take working out serious. Like I started, not that like, I started to take my diet serious. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I took training very seriously. I just competed in like powerlifting meets like 2 weeks before this or something. But I started taking my diet very serious because I was like, yeah, fuck. I was like, I'm ready to change this shit. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
And I went to Germany, and I remember leaving for Germany, and I was 290. I think I was like 292, 293. Went to Germany, spent a week in Germany, ate anything I wanted, did not care, right? Came back, 285.
Yep.
Literally lost weight.
Yep.
And I was like,
this doesn't make sense.
First of all, they walk everywhere. Like everything within them, like for them, is within walking distance too. Like from our hotel, there was a grocery store, there was food, there was like clothes stores, like shopping. All of that was within walking distance. And their food is just way better. Like it's just so much better for you there. And you really get to see like how we as a country do not, like we are not healthy at all.
No,
Like,
it's really bad.
And one of my biggest issues is like body positivity. Yes, I get it. You want to feel comfortable in your body, but like it should be
Nah, fuck
positive
that.
to treat your body right, to give your body
Yes.
proper food, to feel good in your body. The whole point of my brand, like I started, so my clothing brand, Look Good Feel, that's what LF stands for. I started it because I felt like if I put a good outfit on, I felt good. And now
Yeah.
I feel that like when I treat myself right, when I give myself proper food, a proper fit, proper pre-meal, proper whatever, I'm going to look and feel my best.
Yep.
And that's what people don't understand. You can do all these things and still enjoy life. You don't need to be fucking up crumble every single day.
No.
And
Been there. It doesn't work.
Which brings me to one of the topics I wanted to talk about 100% is fad diets and search for quick fixes. Since we're talking about food, is everyone searches for the quick fix, the quick this,
Yeah.
the quick that. Even bodybuilding clients and people in
Yeah.
general too look towards PEDs. But one of your videos that I have saved that I actually will send to clients if they say some goofy shit, I
love that.
Me as a coach, like I think like I can tell people stuff every day, right? But like if you're not gonna experience it yourself, you're not gonna believe it 100%.
Yep.
And if you only are seeing it from one person's view, at least I know for me, I like to soak up things. I like to
Yeah.
see so many different points of view, so many perspectives, so many different things. So I have a thing where I will send clients that are like battling something or struggling with something. If I can't necessarily tell you 100%, I'll figure it out. Like I'll
Yeah.
find it, send it to a client. I'll find somebody else's thing and send it to you to answer your question. And so one of the things I talk about is one, fad diets and quick fixes are not going to work because one, at the end of the day, all of those things are just a calorie deficit. Like
Yeah.
all you need to do is eat less food.
It's literally all
It's-
it is.
It's at the end of the day, like micronutrients are very important. I agree because hormonal health, all of that stuff, extremely important. But for somebody who is looking to just get started, I think they look at like the bodybuilding world and looks like, oh my god, that's so advanced. Oh my god, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. Bro, just eat protein, fats, and carbs. Get your healthy amount that you need to get in, whatever that may be. And just eat a little bit less and be a little more active.
Yeah.
Get started and then start, okay, you know what, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. But like
Exactly.
everybody looks for that quick fix. And it's like, okay, it might work for a month. And then once you go back to eating normal every single day,
Now
what's
look
about
what
to
happens.
happen?
You got 30
put-
extra pounds put on.
Yeah, you put all the pounds back on and more because you're like, damn. And for bodybuilders, it's looking at PED, realizing that like until all of your boxes are checked every single day. One of the things I say to every client now is if you're not checking the day-to-day boxes, it really, really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's the little things. Like I think you have your weekly average, but like the little things really add up. And
Yeah.
that's something people can't handle. Everybody wants instant gratification.
It's an
And
epidemic.
It's crazy. So that's why I have tried, or I'm trying all of these crazy things, bro. I'm running a marathon.
Yeah.
Former fat kid, bro. Never would I think I would be running a marathon. But it's like,
Nate's
It's
doing
just-
that today.
I know, I saw that he's doing he's racing a 10K.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At like 230, 240 pounds.
You just gotta do things. Just fuck around
Yeah.
and try, bro. Don't wait.
And that
like
was one of those things he's like, it's just a goal I made for myself. So, you know, which is that. It's a huge thing.
Go.
That's one of the things that I think is heavily underrated by people. I think people feel like, and this goes along with wanting like the end goal now and the instant gratification. People feel like they have to accomplish these big things to make steps forward when really it's the opposite. My biggest thing now to myself, and like this is one thing that I'm doing with the gym right now. So every single time that I leave there, I need to be able to say to myself, like, I'm satisfied with the work that I put in. No skipped exercises, no skipped reps, no half-assed reps, whatever it may be. And we make these promises to ourselves every day, no matter what it is. It could literally be like, I'm going to wake up in the morning and go do my 15 minutes of cardio, or I'm going to wake up in the morning and clean the kitchen, or whatever it is. And then you wake up in the morning and you don't do that. People don't understand what that's doing to their mental, their subconscious. You're reinforcing again that you are not good enough. Every time that you break a promise to yourself, it's ruining that internal dialogue. It's ruining that motivation. Like, momentum is literally everything. When you can stack days and stack the little things, like this is the 5th day in a row where I've woke up, made my bed, did my morning routine, and was on time for work or whatever it is. Those little things, they stack up, like you were saying, just checking the daily boxes. And like for me, that's one thing I got really good at. And literally now, like, I mean, it's been recently where I just like wake up and I'm just like, I don't know how I got here at all. Like I was talking the other day on my story about how I did my coach's a podcast with him. And it was like, dude, I was 19, living in Indiana, doing door-to-door roof sales, and listening to this guy who I was like, this person, like, I respect so much, will never know who I am. Like, I'm watching this podcast, like, damn, that would be awesome to be that dude sitting across the chair from him. And then, like, one day, 5 years later, I wake up and I'm going to do said podcast. And it's just like, I didn't think about that spot, being in that chair, doing that podcast every single day. That's not what I thought about. I just knew what my goal was, and I thought, okay, what daily boxes can I check every single day to get here? And you do that, and one day you're just going to wake up there. And that's truly what the path should look like. It shouldn't be focusing on that end goal every day, because you're going to drive yourself crazy.
I'll attest to this. So I get 2 sides, right? First, I get the side where if you speak it into existence and you just work on that momentum every single day. So 2 people that have showed me this a little bit. I'm just shouting out a bunch of people so Matthias, I'm in his, I think that's how you say his
I love
name.
Matthias, dude.
I'm in his broadcast channel. Like I said, I love to soak up energy, information.
He's really good at that broadcast channel.
He's fucking smart. Wild. So I'm in his channel, and one thing that he said recently was, set goals for every day. Just set yourself a goal for today. Today, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to be better. I'm going to try this. Goal accomplished. Move on to the next day. You don't have to have all of this stuff. If you just simply want to, hey, I want to get 10K steps in today, I'm going to get 10K steps in. People don't realize how important it is to have a win every single day. Just one win, whether it be huge or small win, momentum builds. Momentum keeps going. You just keep on going and keep on going. Once you get stuck and you hit that like stopping point, that's where it truly gets hard.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to a friend about this, she's on a weight loss journey. She's down 20 pounds, and she's like, I've never felt more wanting to keep pushing. The first 2 to 3 weeks are gonna be rough, bro. It's gonna fucking suck. It's gonna be bad. But like, it's about after that, because you get to a point where you just want to keep going.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's why this sounds crazy. I love running because of that running. So prep, okay. So the prep was hard. I don't actually talk about this a lot. Prep was fucking rough. That shit was hard. They didn't talk about how hard that shit is. Like you watch it on social media and you watch it, having to constantly watch people eat a bunch of different things, and like, I get the perspective of like, you chose to put yourself into this. I get that.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't change the fact of I love that food, or I used to, like, I enjoyed that. And you just have to constantly watch that down. You have to turn that down. And then you also have to get your cardio, and you have to do this. And not that those things aren't like negotiable, but like on prep, you got to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like running, quote unquote, so much, is because it's such a challenge. Like, I enjoy the challenge of like, after a certain point, running is just like, I can keep going. I can keep going. I can keep going. Just one more step.
You
just
get that second wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yesterday on my 8 miles.
That's ridiculous.
Wild.
Never in my life have I ran 8. I've never ran more than, I don't think, 3 miles in a row.
Nuts. I
Not a
have
runner.
never ran. I've never ran more than 4 miles until, what is it? It's until 4 weeks ago.
That's ridiculous. See,
4
but it's
weeks
like
ago.
you're so capable. People, I feel like before that, you probably had said to yourself before, like, there's no way I could run 8 miles.
No, yes, I 100% because so on prep I kind of found running, like I kind of enjoyed running, but my coach was like, no. He
No,
legitimately
it's not-
he said you can't do it. He said it's too
not
taxing.
for a bodybuilding prep.
It's too taxing for your bodybuilding prep. It's too hyperglycemic. It makes you want to fucking eat food all the time. And I agree. Yesterday I
It
wanted
does.
to just fuck everything
Running
up.
running and swimming will make you hungrier than anything.
Dude, yes. I can attest to swimming from Hawaii here, bro. Used to be in water all the
Yeah,
time.
I already know. Yeah.
But no, for sure. And like, but now it's like running is just so, you want to keep going. It's just one step forward. You realize like you are capable of so much more if you just try to get there. You just try to do whatever it may be. Just go and try.
I think to the point you made of like you get to a point where you just want to keep going and like, you know, the first few weeks will be tough. I'm going to say this for anybody listening now. Because people I feel like are like, okay, I have to do the list of things that you need to do when you're at the bottom of the barrel, when you're changing habits, when you're getting healthier. The list of things seems daunting. It seems like a lot. And they feel like it's going to feel like that forever. And it really only takes a few weeks, a couple months. Once you do that, it doesn't take long to rewire the brain, dude. It really doesn't. But the problem is people will have 4 days in a row that are good and 3 days that suck. And then they'll have a couple days that are good and a day that sucks. And they go up and down. That is something that you cannot do. And I stress to clients all the times, like when you start with me, like this is the most important time. Number one, dude, you should be the most motivated that you are ever right now. So let's
You
use
just put
that.
down monetarily speaking, you just put down some money. So
You put down a good amount of money, dog. Like
if
this
that's
is
not driving you, if that's not driving you enough, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on.
Dude, you'd be surprised. Like I've had a handful where, and this I think this is also like a good sign of like what kind of coach you are, but where people will pay me and like I remember there was this one dude who I went to high school with him, but it was forever ago. This was a couple years ago now, I think. But he paid me, I don't know, $750 or something for X amount of like a package.
Yeah.
Paid me, and we talked that day. Never heard from him again. There wasn't even time for him to hate the program. If that's the case, that's on me. You know what I mean? If we try this, and this, and like you hate everything,
don't
nothing
like it?
works. And that's one thing. But literally to never start and spend almost $1,000, it baffles me, dude. I don't understand it. I don't understand.
I don't get it. I will say I don't come from money. Like I don't. So
At all.
I get,
Me neither.
I get the perspective of like, well, I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna put money down, like, not that that's what's driving me, but that is going to be a driving factor.
100%.
Like, if all else fails, if I don't have motivation, I just put fucking X amount of money down, and people like.
And I don't got
you
money like
can't-
that to waste. So.
Exactly. You can't rely on motivation. You can't.
No.
You can't rely on like, because there are days that suck ass, bro. There are days I don't want to do this shit, but to me, those are the days that's most important. Like
Yeah.
if you were able to get just the kind of like, damn, I really don't want to do that, but you know what? I need to get the 10K steps in, or I want to get it. That's all where it gets to. Just like you said, like the list of things seems daunting, but it's doing it for a little bit. Say, you know what? I'm gonna do this today. Okay, go to the next day. Hey, I'm gonna do this today. Okay, go to the next day. Don't think, oh, I'm gonna do this for a month. I'm gonna do this for a year. That's what people get to New Year, New Me, and fuck up because you set yourself up for like a. God, once I'm done, I'm done. But it's not. It's not a.
No.
This isn't. There's no finish line. It's continuously getting better. So you shouldn't be looking forward to the. Oh, I can't wait to be here. It should just be like once you get to the point where you're feeling good in your own. When you're looking and feeling at your best, you just want to keep that. So
Why
keep
do you
doing
think that
what
you can
got you there.
revert? Why would you think you can revert to the things that made you feel like shit and look like shit after you?
Exactly.
People aren't good at logically thinking anymore. It's rough. It's really rough.
Dude, society is failing. It's bad.
I mean,
there's so much. I think social media has such a role to play in how instant people want the now, but not realizing that like that gratification that you're looking for, you want to hold on to that. You don't want to just get it and lose it.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that you can go from point A to point Z and then not stay at point Z by doing A, B, C, D, E.
Exactly. Just as good as the body is at adapting and changing, for the positive, it's just as good at going to shit. If you do not treat your body right, it will, you take it far enough, kill you. So,
Yeah, no, that's what one of the biggest things I tell clients when they work with me is within the first 4 weeks, I'm not expecting to make changes to your plan every day, but I am expecting to make a small change every week that is not is catering towards you, because it's, and for
Yeah.
me, like I just specifically do lifestyle. I want to inform the misinformed, right?
Yeah.
I want you to be done after you're done with me, 6 months, 7 months, however long it takes to get to your goal. I want you to be able to keep going. Like,
Yeah.
you should understand how to be a lifestyle, how to make this a normal lifestyle and every day
Yeah.
to day. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, hey, if you don't like this, we can take this out and put this in there. If you know what, if cardio might be a little too much for you, let's pull cardio down and let's add more steps. And that's, I think everybody's looking for that. Oh, what worked for them? What's worked for them? It doesn't matter what
No.
worked for somebody else. It matters for what works for you.
Yeah, and I think that's a good, again, another telltale sign of like how good of a coach it is, or of a coach you are. Which I'm happy that you said that, but like that's what I tell people on consultation calls all the time. It's like my getting you a good physique and making you look good, whatever. That is bottom of the barrel expectations. If you're
Yeah.
getting a coach, so that's not even my main. That's going to happen. Whatever. That's our number one goal. We know that's going to happen, but teaching you. And this is a lot of things that I think, and I've worked with people who have had coaches in the past, and it sucks. I hate it because other coaches put a bad taste in people's mouth, with coaching. But it's like, I'm not here to hand you a workout plan and a meal plan and say, have fun. You know what I mean? This is, again, like you said, after 6 months, a year, 2 years, however long you're with me, after that, you should be able to do this on your own, or I did not do my job at all.
Exactly. Because somebody shouldn't have to rely on somebody else to get to where they want to be, or to be happy every day, right? I understand getting a coach. I understand losing the weight, getting all that kind of stuff. But I should be able to live my life and go the everyday, the normal everyday, without somebody else. And like, the whole point of coaching for me is to inform everybody, to show people that, like, what you see on social media, 99% of the time, 90% of the time, I'll say there are a handful of creators and people out there that genuinely want to just help and not trying to chase a bag.
And unfortunately, most of those are the smaller creators.
Yep. A very, very unfortunate. And the things that I've heard about very big coaches that coaching sucks is insane. Like, I have clients, I've heard of clients too that have like talked about like, oh yeah, this coach isn't all that.
Not
Wild.
good, yeah.
And you just very much think about how I just want to show people, like, you can just fucking lose weight, bro. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
hard.
really
You can
not.
just, it's so overcomplicated on social media. All you got to do is, bro, get your food in, eat your healthy
Yeah.
food, move more, and just go about it. And that's it. And the fad diets and the search for quick fixes, it's not going to be quick.
No.
It's going to take time. But why would you want it so fast? Because
Yeah.
in my opinion, you wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
You would not enjoy. I enjoy being how I am now so much more because of how hard I had to work to get here.
Yep. And that's the thing I think people we get wrong too, is like, you would not, without going through the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, you wouldn't be strong enough to handle your goals or your dreams. Like for me, if I had been handed everything that I have now, which is everything that I wanted 5 years ago, had I been given it then, boy, I would have crashed and burned. Especially
You wouldn't
like,
appreciate it.
no, and like even past appreciating it, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. Like the amount that is expected of me now, 19, 20-year-old me would not have been able to handle. My life wasn't in a position to be able to handle that. I wasn't mentally in a strong enough place to handle it, all those things. So it's like, you got to go through the shit to even be able to handle the good parts of it. Like, even if you want it fast, if you were given it fast, it wouldn't work out how you want it to.
I think something that people don't get either is that and from what I saw, and I agree with the statement a little bit, but in order for you to grow, or if you really, really want to grow, you have to hit rock bottom. And I agree to disagree because I think that you can grow no matter what.
Yeah.
But for those people that are constantly falling back and forth, once this quote that I saw, once the pain is too much, then you'll make a change. That's not how the quote goes. I don't know what the full quote is. But
Yeah.
like, you won't change until the pain is more than where you are now.
Yeah.
And that's because for me, that's what it was. I had always told myself every year, every new year, hey, I'm going to make this change. Hey, I'm going to do this. And I would stick to it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I didn't keep going. But then I tore my ACL. And I was like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
Couldn't walk. Relied on my girlfriend at the time. So one, I had to rely on my dad. So I tore my ACL, had surgery. Okay. For the first 3 days out of surgery, couldn't move at all myself.
Ugh.
So I had to have my dad help me get out of bed, walk to the
Go to the
bathroom.
bathroom.
He would close the door. I would pee, do whatever I needed to do, and then he would have to help me move and get back in bed. Number one, do you know how much it sucked to like not be able to do things by yourself?
Yeah.
Losing the ability to walk, I think actually made me appreciate what I'm doing now, appreciate life, and just appreciate the very, very little things so much more. And that's what your journey is. That's what weight loss is. Whatever it may be, it's like you don't want it now because you can't, just like you said, you couldn't appreciate it. Like if I'm not going to lie, if 5 years ago, you put me as a freshman in college with this physique that I have now and this level of athleticism and abilities, not that I'm athletic. I played volleyball in college, had like a 42-inch vertical.
That's
But
crazy.
like, yeah, I'll show a clip of me playing volleyball for like the viewers. But like, if I was this skinny with that level of athleticism, like I wouldn't be the person I am today. I would have been a cocky, arrogant bastard.
Yep.
I can't lie. And
100%.
I know 100%. Bro, I'm fucking 213 today with abs, running 8 miles and still lifting heavy.
Which after where you came from has to feel
Insane.
wild.
It's and it makes you appreciate it. At least for me, it makes me appreciate it so much more. I was telling my girl this. I appreciate her so much because of the fact that you really get to see who's in your corner and who's not in your corner when you are genuinely trying to better yourself. As shitty as that sounds, family doesn't always mean blood.
No.
And that's one thing that I will take no matter what, is that when you're pursuing yourself, when you're trying to better yourself, do the things that are good for you, sometimes the people that you expect to support you won't support you. And so when you get to where you are, you really just want to appreciate everything that you've experienced and everything that you do, and especially the people behind you. One of the assistant coaches for Sculpt, Dylan, he made this video talking about when you're out of prep, really, really appreciate people. And what I'm doing lately is just kind of like appreciating the time that you have, because you don't know, dude. You don't know. It like something I preach heavy is that the only guarantee in life is death.
Yep. Death and taxes.
Yeah, dude. Fucking taxes, man.
That Daniel Caesar, you know him?
Yes, bro. But no, it's true. People don't understand. Like, the only thing guaranteed is like, why would you wait? Why wait? Why not fucking try as much as you can? Who cares? If you fail, you fail. You tried. All right, moving on to the next. I'm gonna try something different.
Exactly. And I think to the point of like the prep thing, because I told a client this the other day, even outside of prep, like bodybuilding and in general specifically, like you said, appreciate the people outside of prep. You know, when you get out of prep, appreciate them that much more. I am heavily under the belief that, like, whether it's bodybuilding or just, you know, going on a journey to better yourself, whatever, the people around you don't deserve to suffer any more because you chose to do this. And I know you said like earlier, like, you know, yeah, there's the thing of, hey, you chose to do this, whatever. but it's like I had a client, he texted me and was like, he said something about there being, just crappy food in the house. I think they had like pizza or something. He's like, I told him not to have that stuff around. It's like, no, fuck that. You
Yes.
are choosing to do this. You can eat that piece of pizza if you want to. You have full control. You have, but you don't want to, or you shouldn't want to because you have X goals. Those people, if it's a thing where you're like, hey guys, like this isn't very healthy for us, you should eat this to be better. Like you can advise, but don't tell somebody you're not allowed to have this food in the house because I'm not allowed to have it. That's not a way you are allowed to be, because they didn't ask you to do this. You chose to do it. You're putting yourself through suffering, which if you really love it and it's really something that you really want to do, it's not really suffering. Yeah, they don't deserve that at all. And I think that's something that my next like prep, I have to, I've kind of promised myself to be better about. Not that I told people like, oh, don't eat that around me, whatever. I loved prep. Like you said, like your prep was like super hard. Like I know my next one's going to suck, but my first one was honestly like a breeze. But outside of that, just the way I like emotionally and the way, you act, like there's no getting away from that. As easy as prep was for me, it's still like, looking back, there was definitely times where I was out of control emotionally just because of everything going on. But yeah, end of the day, like nobody around you it deserves to suffer because you're choosing to, eat right or whatever the case may be.
100%. That's what I told you is when I was on prep. So prep was hard for me because it was just like losing weight. Like I was just losing weight for so long. It was
I didn't do 65 weeks, so
it was a lot. It was just, but I will say I also didn't get to the point where I did get to the point where emotions was just crazy. You know, like you really see how taxed your body is because of how little you can handle.
well, and for that transformation class, you were on a different level than a lot of people up there. There was only you
Oh,
were
yeah.
had you not come from a place of so heavy, like I told you this, you could have, even at where you were, done a different
Yeah.
class.
100%.
A lot of people that do that transformation class don't get to that point of lean. So you probably did experience some more suck than a lot of people in the transformation class
yeah.
did. I think too, it's all about your why as well. I think we probably had very different mindsets in terms of preps. So I think mine was just like bodybuilding was that thing that I kind of fell into, and it was just one of those like, oh shit, like finally this is something. I've never felt this way about something before. Like before that I had no aspirations, no dreams, no drive, nothing, didn't want to do anything. So when I found bodybuilding, it was more like, I went into that prep of like, I don't know, it just the drive that I had to do it was so unbelievably high. I just didn't ever feel like, I don't remember a day where I was just like, God, like I don't want to do this. I was in such a mode.
You were dialed. You were fucking locked.
More dialed than I've ever been in my life. Like I'm telling you, in 4 months, I didn't have a single cheat meal, which my last coach just wasn't the best. We absolutely could have, but regardless of the fact, I had, chicken and rice, ground beef, potatoes, like the normal prep foods that you would think about. 4 months straight, no cheat meals, nothing. In that entire prep, I missed 4 ounces of chicken one time, and I had like some chicken in the fridge that went bad, and the store was closed. It was like 11 p.m. at night, whatever. But that was the only thing that I missed. I didn't miss a step. I didn't miss a single session of workouts. I didn't miss any cardio, nothing. So it was one of those things where like I just kind of flipped that switch. But we did a mock prep almost. Like when I got with my new coach, I was fat. Like I was, because my previous coach, the one I have now, we were just shoving food down my throat. Gut was horrible, digestion terrible. So I just got too fat.
Stupidly important.
Yeah. And so when I got with my new coach, he was like, all right, well, we're going to do, I want to see kind of what you got almost. So we need to get leaner because you are in a shit position. So we kind of just did like a mock prep and got down to like, I don't know, 5-6 weeks out leanness. And I don't know if it was just me being so much bigger. I don't know if it was, I don't know what it was, but that it kind of kicked my ass. Like It was, and it was gave me like, it was just a little bit, but it made me realize next prep's going to suck badly. So I think it's kind of like one of those things where, depending on where your mindset is when you go into it, you know, you might have the experience I had where it really wasn't that hard. You might have the experience. Now, it all depends on who your coach is and, you know, how good your body is when you start, things like that. But yeah, I mean, end of the day, usually they're not going to be the most fun thing in the world. And there's going to be a lot of, that's also where I built a lot of my good habits though. Like,
Oh yeah.
I know, I don't know if this is, we allowed to talk about gardening on here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So for this podcast, we can talk about it's mine. We can do whatever the fuck
cool.
we want. I don't give a flying fuck.
So, I mean, like, we both smoke weed. Like, it's,
Oh yeah.
prep was one of those things where when people, because, and this is what I tell people, like, I made a video on this not long ago about, like, the type of people that should be smoking weed. It's very
Yeah, I
few.
agreed to disagree with this video. Or we kind of, I was like, I don't know if I fuck with this. But then I was like, you know what? Let me see how he feels about this. And then we talked about it. I was like, okay. That's one thing. Don't fucking jump to assumptions because you make an ass out of yourself.
Exactly.
Until you fully know 100%.
Exactly. And that's like that. I just feel like the mindset you're in and the habits that you have are going to heavily depend on whether you're a person who should be smoking or not. And I think for me, it's just been, you know, it's been something I've done, you know, for a while. And so when I entered prep, it was one of those things where I said to myself, like, okay, the only way I can continue to, you know, do this, and it wasn't like, oh, I want to smoke all day long or anything. It was literally just like, hey, you know, I like a little bit before bed or whatever. Only way I can still do this is if I remain in complete control of my mind. So that entire prep, like, again, I told you, I didn't miss. I smoked before bed pretty much every night. The night before the show, I had no water. I was dry as a bone. My mouth was chalk. I still did it, but I didn't go in there and chug water. You know, it was one of those things where that prep, turning that switch on so much, I would not be the person I am right now had I not made promises to myself and kept them. And that's what it goes to my point earlier, is it's like that is the number one key to success, in my opinion, is kind of flipping that switch, telling yourself I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this, and then following through. So prep definitely instilled quite a few really good habits. And that's why, like, I really like bodybuilding, not for being jacked or, you know, whatever the case may be, but it's the mental side of things
Being
that
jacked
comes
is
with
cool.
it. Super
100%.
cool.
Hey,
Super cool.
Cool as fuck.
I made
100% very cool.
I was gonna say, like, side point, but I made a post on Instagram on my story this morning. Do you feel like you are treated differently since you have been from
Yes.
fat to? I made a post this morning and it was just like, we as humans, like, when you see somebody, like, no matter how much you want this to not be true, looks are going to
I
heavily
agree.
define
I agree.
what people think about you. Heavily.
That's how part of this podcast started with that, actually. I had recorded an episode when it was called Harsh Realities. So I had originally titled it Harsh Realities because we just talked about the general harsh truth of society. Yeah. But I wanted to cater towards growth follows change, not working out, but just I felt that was a very good prospect. Yeah. But one of the topics we talked about is, as much as you don't want to fucking believe this, looks matter at the end of the day. Because, one, that's the first impression you get of somebody, no matter what it is. Whether you're on social media, oh, I know their personality. Well, how'd you stop on their fucking video? You saw how they
saw
looked.
a crazy physique.
Yeah, you saw how they looked. When you're in person, if you're a girl, I don't give a fuck what girl says this doesn't matter. Looks matter. Because if you're a girl and you see a guy, you're not going to go up to him if he's not attractive. Same for a guy. As respectful as guys want to be, shut up.
Yeah.
Because the only thinking is down there, and then up here starts to think.
Exactly.
Looks matter so heavily. And I'm not saying, actually I am saying, being overweight is not okay.
It's not.
I say that because I was fat. And I don't give a fuck who says, like, who doesn't agree, because I feel better, and I feel better all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. My body does feel better. I look better. And as much as this sucks to say, I get treated better.
You do.
You get, this is weird to say, but, like, in public, you don't necessarily get idolized, but you get, like, wow, okay, that person has a little bigger chest, or that shirt is hugging their arm a little bit. I get complimented on my calves and my legs.
Well, that's because they're absolutely, it's nonsense what you look like below the waist, bro. It's not fair at all.
I get complimented on that.
Fucking bullshit, dude.
It's why. Hey, that's what happens when you're big, though.
I guess I'm gonna go turn into a 400-pounder real quick. I'll be back in 5 years.
Hey, but it's basically because like you do get looked at differently, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you can attest to this. Like I saw you post on your story one day. You were walking around your old apartment, shirtless, like the place, and people would say stuff. Like it's not even. One, people are just so much more curious about who you are, what you're doing, because
it's so outside of the norm.
Yeah, it's not. It's crazy to say that. It's not like an everyday you see this person. You don't actually realize how small the bodybuilding community really is. Like
It seems large because we see it all day, every day. But
there are people who go to the gym every day. I saw this post, and I agree with this. Okay. There are people who go to the gym every day, but there's a even smaller percentage of people who are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
There's so much misinformation out there of like, you should be losing weight. A guy that I will call out on this fucking podcast day to day, his name is, it's the Better You Society or Better You, whatever it's called.
I haven't seen him.
And he was a little overweight. He wasn't stupidly overweight. I would say he was like, you less abs with more pudge. Mm-hmm. And that perspective,
me last year probably.
That's how his physique was. No, didn't have you had like top 2 abs. He didn't have like abs at all. He had a gut. But lost weight, has abs, has 6-pack now. But how he teaches people to lose weight is piss poor. It's piss poor.
Yeah.
And it's like it's those quick fixes. It's that military diet style food. And that's like people don't realize is like what that used to work back then, that was just a number. People was just chasing the number. Something I tell clients every day is, okay, so for me as a coach, we have an app that we use. And we have a daily habits app. As somebody in prep, or a daily habits like tab in there, as somebody in prep, fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really, really helps you build those habits, those daily check boxes. Did you weigh yourself fasted this morning? Did you take all your supplements? Did you get your 10K steps in? Did you miss a meal? Oh, if you miss a meal, go back and eat it. You know, stuff like that. Like really checking your boxes. How are you feeling? For a prep coach to know, okay, this is what we need to do. This is this. But like as a lifestyle client, I understand where that really throws people off because they weigh themselves every day. So I will blatantly tell a client, I'll be like, no, like weigh yourself Monday, weigh yourself on check-in day, weigh yourself next check-in day. People might not agree with that, but like I look at weekly average because that's what it is. For me, like it's not, oh my God, I fucked up today, because you can have an untracked meal. I don't believe in calling them cheat meals because lifestyle clients, I think that builds, just like Higher Up talks about, it builds a negative connotation to the word. It builds that negative stigma. Where like one, you should have a negative stigma because you shouldn't be eating like that every single day because you know you shouldn't be. Yeah. I've had my meals where I'm like, fuck, I should not have eaten that. And I'm like, fuck.
The regret immediately after the last bite.
Oh my God. Julia and I had, okay, I won't lie. Me and her need to do it again because we had sushi. Fucking
Love
fantastic.
sushi, bro.
But then I went and got crumble. Mid as fuck. First of all, crumble is not it. I'm not going to lie.
All right.
Whatever.
I'm not going to stand for crumble slander. It has been probably a year and a few months now since I tasted some crumble, but I swear to God, that's the best cookie.
There are some cookies
ever
that are good. Okay, I'll say this. Crave, fucking dog shit. Period.
I've never had
trash.
Crave.
F. Don't even try it. It's waste of money. Waste of money. Anybody can fight me over it. Just know I protect myself with my Second Amendment rights. Okay? Crave, trash. Crumble, good. Certain cookies. My first cheat with crumble, I had this pumpkin cream cookie, whatever it was. Fucking delicious.
I'm not a pumpkin
absolutely
guy.
Delicious. I am. Fall ending wrap in the fall was amazing.
I bet, yeah.
Best time. Pumpkin good, but like some of their cookies aren't all that.
No,
it's not.
No,
they have their cookies that are like on and off. But we had sushi and we had that meal, and I was like, oh, damn.
You felt like that after sushi?
Yes.
Or after the cookies, you felt like that?
I felt like that after the sushi. The cookies.
Well, yeah.
But it was all
How did you feel immediately after the sushi, though?
Good until like the second round of sushi. Here's my problem. This was like my first real meal after my show. So like I had my show.
Okay.
I had barbecue, and then like I had those 2 days, and then I went back on track for like 2 weeks or like a week and a half or 2 weeks because my coach pulled. He was like, okay, we need to pull this water off. You saw the picture I
Yeah.
sent in the group chat.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen me, I'll show. Okay. I understand the reverse dieting thing so much more now too, and this is what people should realize when you're losing weight. Don't just fucking go back to normal. This is why you don't go back to normal. So I got down to 197, I think it was, that I stepped on stage at. 197, 198. 3 days later, Monday, Tuesday, weighed in. I checked in. 214.
Whoo!
I was holding on.
We had this conversation before you
But
left.
listen, yeah, I
we,
know.
we had this entire talk before you left Texas. I tried to save you.
And you did. And I will say, I fully assess and I am okay with everything I did to the perspective of, for me, I went on an extreme.
65 weeks is
It's fucking insane. But I didn't
I'll let that
understand
slide.
how important reversing was, and now I do.
Yeah.
So I'll show a picture for people watching. I was 214, check-in day. I was holding on a stupid amount of water. And my coach was like, all right, no untracked meals, cardio instantly, get your step count in, this is what you're doing, I don't care. Follow your gut health protocol. Okay, one thing I will say, even with all of this, my gut health was still on point. I was still having daily bowel movements. If you don't know, you should be going to the bathroom a minimum of once a day.
Yeah.
And if you're
yeah.
if you're not,
It's crazy
there's
to
a
me that
problem.
people aren't and letting that slide.
Yeah, it's okay.
You haven't shit in 24
Before I
hours?
continue this, if you haven't fucking used the bath, okay, if you're a female and you're not using the bathroom once a day, something's wrong.
Heavily.
Message me, message Kaden. I personally will tell you how to fix that. I have videos on my channel that tell you exactly how to fix that. Because you need to. Like, that's not okay. If you want to do anything, you want to lose any weight, feel better, starts with your gut.
100%.
Okay. I still had daily bowel movements. I still moved good. I still all that. But I was holding on to so much water. So much. So that was 7 weeks ago. Fast forward 7.5 weeks now. I'm 213. So I literally I dropped that. I did cardio. I sat in the sauna. I was like, I'm not fucking with this.
Yeah.
And we got it off. And then we started back at like 205. And we climbed up. I will say now, I got my blood work done. One, fats, very important. Health, hormonal health, stupidly important. We can always talk about this in a future podcast like this for depth stuff. Fats, stupidly important. And I'll attest to this because whenever you go on like a weight loss diet, I understand why people pull carbs. I get it, but I don't. People neglect fats so much.
Yeah.
I got my blood work done.
What were we sitting at?
Bro, I'll tell you the numbers. Because I'll put this. Man, dude. It was bad. It was bad.
I wonder if it's worse than where I was at.
All right, so my cortisol, first of all, 13.5.
Oh,
Just
my.
Decently high. Okay, the important stuff that people really care about. Testosterone and free tests. Okay. Testosterone, 470. Which, if y'all don't know, the range for tests
Wait, what did you
for
say?
what 470.
For 70. Okay. I mean,
For what they were testing for was 264 to 916. So I'm bottom half.
my natural test was, when I tested myself when I was natural, was 220.
Damn. That's not even tested. What? That's low. Okay. Free test, though. Ready for this? The range they test, 9.3 to 26.5. From what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I know you know a lot more information about this, free test is the part that actually matters. Like, that's the test that your body actually uses.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, they're both very important. They're
Okay.
both very important.
9.3 to 26.5. My number was 7.4.
Yeah, that's not amazing. No. Especially given that the top part of the range is still probably under where you should be.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm on tests now, and I don't. I mean, one big thing, two
Are you
things for
really?
me. Yeah, I'm musty.
When did that happen?
2 weeks ago.
I knew you were gonna do it, but I didn't know you had already done it. Welcome to the dark side.
Me and my coach had this conversation. So I did, I would say, a good percent of my weight loss natural. But then I think I was like, so I did a 22-week prep. Show got canceled. And then I did a 13-week prep. And we were like 9 weeks out. And I got to the point where I was like, I've already lost so much weight. I don't want to keep losing weight at the rate I'm losing and not lose body fat. And so we started taking Clen to just help do what we needed to do.
Yeah.
Got down, whatever. But I told him, I was like, I want you to know, like, post-show, I know my test is not going to be where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I don't fuck with how I feel. Like, I don't fuck with being brain fog, like having brain fog all the time. I will say 100% libido was just not there.
Yeah.
The drive, and even just the drive to want to do anything. It's all willpower. It's all, I set a goal for myself. I set a promise for myself. I'm going to fucking do this. Why? Like, if there's one person that you should count on in the world, it's yourself.
Yeah.
This fucking quote I stand behind. You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You become confident by having an undeniable stack of proof behind you that says you are who you say you are.
Alex?
Is
that Alex?
Alex Hormozi.
Yeah.
I think so. I may not be a cocky person. I don't classify myself as cocky, but I'm confident. I know 100% that I'm better than 95, 98% of the world. And in the mindset of I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. I'm not going to lie to myself. And you shouldn't lie to yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, fucking do it.
Yeah.
What is stopping you? What is stopping you? Why wouldn't you do it? You want anything in the world, get it. Go for it. Nothing is out of reach. And another thing people don't realize is once you start surrounding yourself with more like-minded individuals or more people that are have similar interests and thoughts you want to have or that you have, you realize how attainable and how in reach it actually is.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, I didn't know this myself, but you don't have to have a crazy following on social media to be in this space and make a living. To be a coach, any of this stuff, like you don't need to have a huge following.
Nope.
Caden can attest.
I don't even have 3,000 followers.
My coach specifically, he can attest. And then the other coaches, like everybody, if you want to be somewhere in life, figure out how to get there and surround yourselves with people that are there or have similar goals to you. Because you shouldn't be, one thing that I post and that I talked about is if a relationship doesn't grow you, develops you, or helps you, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And that's how I am, because time is the only thing that we can't get back. It's always going. It's never coming. So just...
And that's why a big thing that I tell young guys, and this is something that I feel like a lot of people go against me on, but man, if this is, I don't care if you're young, old, but especially if you're young, you don't have time. Number one, you could walk out of your house and die today. That's just a harsh reality.
100%,
but
dude.
You don't have time. If all these people who are like, have fun in your 20s, you have time. Number one, you're blind, you're living under a rock, and you have no idea what the state of society is in right now. Number two, like literally, I mean, I'm in fear of a world war every single day at this point. But like, bottom line is like, there is no reason for you to say like, even if you're gonna say like, oh, you have time, go have fun. Why is going out and getting fucked up multiple times a week more fun than getting one step closer to having the financial freedom that you want, or building that business, or making it in this career? Why is, hanging out with your friends and sitting on the couch smoking weed and eating crap food more fun than working towards all these things? Is like, if you continuously tell yourself like, oh, I got time, what you're really saying is, I don't want to do it right now. I'm going to use this as an excuse not to do it right now. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be just as hard, and it's the bumps in the roads and the things that the mountains you gotta climb, they're always gonna be there. And for me, like, I'm just not willing to waste the time that's not guaranteed. I have no idea how much time I have left, and I'm not willing to waste any of it just to do things that society deems as fun. And what I think the biggest thing for me is I look at what average people are doing, and while I hate that the average of our country is like very, very low, it is very easy to be above that bar. So it's like, if you just look at what average people are doing and honestly do the opposite, you're going to be in a much better position. And like, I can say right now, like, not a single day goes by where I'm like, damn, wish I would have partied more. Damn, wish I would have this and that. And like, it's not something that appeals to me. And like, I get it. A lot of people don't have that mindset, but at the end of the day, man, I don't care what other people are telling you. You're quickly running out of time. The second you open your eyes in the morning, clock's.
All right, so I just wanted to end the episode here, give you guys a quick recap. Thank you so much to Caden coming and recording with me. This is going to be part 1. I'm going to upload part 2 next week for you guys to keep going. We kind of just started rambling, talking a little bit about testosterone, talking a lot about online coaches versus personal trainers, today's society. If you guys are interested in that, make sure to hit the follow button for this podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. And if you're watching on social media, follow us on Instagram at _GFC pod. Hope you guys all enjoyed this podcast. Hope you guys all enjoyed these kind of conversations in these things. I'm really interested, and I really, really love being able to have open-minded conversations with people. Ed and I are really good friends, met him in Texas, but yeah, I just want to say thank you. If you made it to this part of the podcast, I really appreciate all of you guys, and I can't wait to continue to bring this podcast up, continue to bring newer people on this, and just open and talk and really use this as a way of an outlet to kind of inform the misinformed and help people change, help people grow. So it has been your boy Terez. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you guys, or you guys will hear me in the next podcast later. And look good, feel good, baby.